battlefield was chaos. A sea of metal surged forward, thousands of war machines, their glowing eyes locked onto a single target. At the heart of the storm stood a lone warrior, clad in armor that gleamed under the dying sun. His army, though smaller, stood unwavering beside him, swords drawn, shields raised. Jake had returned. In his hands, a new sword pulsed with power, a weapon forged from the lessons of his past defeat. As the first wave of machines attacked, he met them head-on, his blade cutting through steel like it was nothing. Sparks flew, metal screeched, and the battlefield became a storm of fire and fury. Then, from above, the dragon descended, a beast of flame and terror. Its molten breath roared toward Jake, but he did not flinch. He raised his sword, meeting fire with steel, the impact shaking the ground beneath them. His army, armed with weapons reforged in the crucible of vengeance, surged forward, their war cries piercing the mechanical cacophony. But victory would require more. As the battle reached its peak, the warriors' blades began to glow, each weapon drawn toward Jake's. The energy of every sword, every warrior, combined into one. A single mighty blade, crackling with the fury of 1,000 battles. With a final unyielding cry, Jake raised the sword high and brought it crashing down upon the dragon's skull. The battlefield fell silent. The dragon, once invincible, lay still. Jake stood among the wreckage of war, breathing heavily. He took a step back, then another, and then, in a final act of dominance, he threw his sword into the sky. It cut through the air, piercing a bird mid-flight before falling back to earth. Victory was his. And with that, Jake turned away, walking home through the ash and embers. He stepped inside, set his armor aside, and made himself a cup of tea. For he knew this was not the end. It was only the beginning of the next adventure.